Hey YouTube, it's Mark.
And Rocky.
And we are
This Cruise Life.
Some big news coming from Norwegian Cruise Line, and this is something that most cruisers probably won't even believe. In less than a year, the cruise line has decided to say farewell to the popular More at Sea program in favor of bringing back something called Free at Sea.
Yep, you heard that right. Free at Sea is making a comeback, but this time it's NCL version 2.0. Let's talk about what that means and why this pivot says a lot about what's happening behind the scenes at Norwegian Cruise Lines.
Let's rewind a bit. Back in August, Norwegian Cruise Lines quietly parted ways with President David Herrera. And when I say quietly, I mean quietly. The only public reference to this was buried in an SEC filing statement that simply said, Mr. David Herrera departed Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings as part of a strategic leadership change.
No press release, no farewell post, just gone. And usually when a top executive exits that suddenly, it signals bigger shifts that are on the horizon.
Fast forward a few months, and here we are with one of Norwegian's biggest marketing reversals in years.
Now, if you've sailed with Norwegian in the last decade or so, you probably remember Free at Sea. It was simple, catchy, and for years, it was part of NCL's DNA. But in late 2024, the company made a bold move. They retired Free at Sea and replaced it with something called More at Sea.
The idea was to modernize the offering, making it sound more premium. But what it ended up doing was causing confusion for cruisers, travel agents, and even NCL's own team. It just didn't work. And Norwegian insiders have even admitted now that it was a mistake. Free at Sea had strong brand recognition, and the new rebrand just didn't resonate with cruisers.
And that brings us to today. Norwegian is pressing undo, but with a twist. This isn't the same Free at Sea that we knew before. Think of it as a remix, all the familiar perks, just with some fine-tuning to the drinks, specialty dining, and Wi-Fi.
So let's break it down. We're going to look at the original Free at Sea, More at Sea, and Free at Sea 2.0 and how they all stack up.
So let's start with Free at Sea beverage package. Under the original iteration of Free at Sea, cruisers paid $21.80 per person per day for the beverage package on applicable cruises, regardless of the sailing length. It covered all alcoholic drinks up to $15, along with sodas and other non-alcoholic beverages. Notably missing, however, were bottled water and specialty coffee.
More at Sea kept that same premise, but promised 45% more premium liquor brands by introducing the new Connoisseurs collection. Like Free at Sea, if you wanted a beverage that cost more than the allotted $15, you just paid the difference along with the 20% gratuity. And like Free at Sea, the original iteration, coffee and bottled waters were not included.
The big difference with More at Sea was that the pricing was varied based on the sailing length. The shorter the cruise, the more you paid per person per day. 1 to 7 nights was $30 per person per day. 8 to 11 nights was $27 per person per day. And 12 nights or more was $23 per person per day.
With Free at Sea 2.0, all of the same inclusions and exclusions still apply.
Right.
However, the brand has simplified the model, going back to that original Free at Sea model where everyone just pays the same price regardless of your cruise length.
The new per person per day gratuity under Free at Sea 2.0 is $28.50, a 31% increase compared to the original Free at Sea's $21.80. And yes, Norwegian now explicitly calls the $28.50 fee a gratuity under Free at Sea 2.0, for those that are keeping track.
For most cruisers, it's actually a better overall cost when you compare it to More at Sea, since the majority of NCL sailings are 7 days or less. For us, under More at Sea, a 7-day package was $30 a day per person or $420 total. Under Free at Sea 2.0, that same package costs $28.50 per day or $399 total, about a 5% savings compared to More at Sea.
Looking at our 13-night Luna transatlantic sailing, though, it's a different story. We paid just under $600 for both of us at $23 per person per day. Under Free at Sea 2.0, the cost jumps nearly $150 to $741 for both of us, a 25% increase.
Good thing we booked the Luna Transatlantic when we did.
Yeah?
Those booking cruises that are 7 days or shorter actually come out ahead under Free at Sea 2.0. Those booking cruises 8 days or more will pay more. And once again, bottled water and coffees are not included.
Good news is on the horizon, though. With the relaunch of Free at Sea, Norwegian has committed to bringing back a plus version of the package. For those of us who have missed having one package to cover all drinks.
And a new perk coming to the plus version? Drinks will be included at Great Stirrup Cay.
Oh, what?
Leave it to Norwegian Cruise Line to market something that was already included for everyone as a perk of the new plus package. Okay, so that's everything that's changing and new for the beverage package on Free at Sea 2.0. Let's take a look at specialty dining next.
Like the beverage package, Free at Sea 2.0 aims to streamline and simplify the specialty dining perk.
Honestly, under Free at Sea, it was all a little bit convoluted.
Yeah.
You had the stateroom type you booked, the length of the cruise you booked, that determined how many meals you got, and then those meals varied in terms of price on like a gradient pricing scale.
So for cruises 3 to 6 nights, one specialty meal was available for all stateroom types. For cruises 7 to 11 nights, balcony and above received 2 meals, and on cruises 12 nights or longer, all cabins received an additional meal, maxing out at 3.
Okay, so then pricing increased gradually.
Right.
$11.80 for the first meal, $19.80 for the second meal, and $27.80 for the third meal. So stateroom type, cruise length, and pricing convoluted, right? And a little bit confusing.
Oh yeah. With More at Sea, it kept the structure, but it added even more sailing length groupings, and it upped the max meals to 5 on 12 plus night sailings in a balcony and higher. The biggest change? Cost.
Yeah.
Gone was the gradient pricing. Each meal now cost a flat $20 fee. Under Free at Sea, 3 meals cost $27.80. Under More at Sea, the same 3 meals now cost $60.
Additionally, More at Sea introduced cover charges for each of the restaurants, and they eliminated that specialty dining package where you could buy additional specialty meals at a discount pre-cruise. For us, More at Sea was a big downgrade. We prefer to book interior rooms because we like the cozy feel, we like to take naps during the day, and we like how dark it is in those. Right. And we're rarely in the room. But for us, we were penalized. We got one specialty dining meal. And the only option we had for another one was to pay the full cover, even if we wanted to go to the sushi restaurant and just have one sushi roll.
We're guessing that most cruisers didn't love it either, based on the changes that are coming with Free at Sea 2.0. It eliminates the stateroom type variable altogether.
Now, all cruisers receive meals based only on the sailing length. 2 to 4 nights, 1 dining meal. 5 to 6 nights, 2 specialty dining meals. 7 to 8, 3, and 9 or more nights receive 4 specialty dining meals. That same $20 cover applies to each of those, now called a gratuity. And it includes the same 3 appetizers, 1 entree, and 3 desserts that More at Sea introduced.
That's everything that you need to know about dining. Now, let's talk about Wi-Fi.
Minutes-based Wi-Fi has been part of every single version of these programs. Under the original Free at Sea, passengers 1 and 2 in the stateroom received 75 minutes for a 3 to 6 night cruise, 150 minutes for 7 to 11 nights, and 300 minutes for 12 nights or longer.
More at Sea launched with a big Wi-Fi headline, "More minutes for everyone!" Instead of just passengers 1 and 2, all guests in the stateroom now got Wi-Fi minutes. However, the 300-minute bucket for longer sailings disappeared, capped at 150 minutes. Less than a month later, Norwegian rolled that back, bringing back the 300-minute perk for 12 plus night sailings.
It was an odd decision.
Yeah.
Under Free at Sea 2.0, the sailing length component is gone altogether, once again in aim of simplifying the program. Now all cruisers in every cabin receive the same number of minutes, regardless of sailing length, 150 minutes. For cruises that are shorter, less than 7, that's double of the 75 allotment today. For 7 to 11 night cruises, it's the same, nothing changes. And for those on 12 nights or more, you are cutting your Wi-Fi allotment back in half again to 150.
For our typical 7-night cruise, Free at Sea 2.0 is basically identical. But on our 13-night Luna Transatlantic, our Wi-Fi allotment would have been cut from 300 minutes down to 150.
Boo.
Considering most of NCL cruises are 7 days or shorter, this update is mostly the same, or slightly better, for most cruisers.
And can we be honest here for just a moment? If you're booking a 12-night or longer cruise anyway, 300 minutes is probably not going to be enough, regardless.
That is so true.
NCL, good news, we'll let you upgrade to a streaming package for the whole cruise, just with a little more money.
Right.
So that's everything that you need to know about the Wi-Fi perk.
Finally, the shore excursion credit remains unchanged across all versions. Guest 1 in the stateroom still gets a $50 credit per Norwegian shore excursion booked, just as they have since Free at Sea first launched.
Considering Norwegian's excursion pricing and the credits limitations, this perk isn't always the best deal. Be sure to check with your travel advisor for the best options in the ports you visit.
So that's everything. After seeing it all side by side, it's pretty clear that Norwegian looked at the numbers from this past year under More at Sea and decided, well, a change is needed.
But they didn't just hit that rewind button and go back to the original Free at Sea, they tweaked the formula. And now whether or not the Free at Sea 2.0 program makes sense for you, it depends on how you cruise.
So what do you think? Was this the right move? Should Norwegian have stuck with More at Sea, or was Free at Sea just too iconic to let go?
Drop your thoughts in the comments below and stay tuned to the channel for more videos coming your way.
Mark? I think More is out and Free is in, just like what it costs for you to subscribe to the channel. It's free to do, and it helps us out tremendously.
Touche. Until next time, we will see you on the ocean.
Bye.